The cell was silent. Only the sound of water dripping from a rusted pipe echoed in the darkness. Marcus sat on the edge of his bunk, staring at a tiny square window near the ceiling. A pale beam of moonlight slipped through the bars, slicing across the gray walls like a cruel joke. He clenched his fists, the metal biting into his skin, and whispered words no one else could hear. "One day, I'll own a building with windows bigger than this whole cell." It sounded ridiculous. He had nothing, no money, no freedom, no future, just a number stitched on his orange jumpsuit and a sentence of 15 years. Nobody believed in Marcus, not the judge, not the jury, not even Marcus himself. But the universe loves an underdog who refuses to stay down. This is the story of the man who broke his chains, not once, but twice. Marcus grew up in a neighborhood that felt more like a battlefield than a home. Broken streetlights, boarded-up houses, gunshots at night. His mother worked double shifts at a diner. His father had vanished before Marcus turned 6. The only role models left were the men on the corner. Gold chains, stolen cars, fast money. Marcus was smart, brilliant even. Teachers told him he could be anything. But in Haven Heights, dreams didn't pay the bills. Survival did. At 17, he joined a crew. At 19, he was carrying guns and driving cars that weren't his. And then came the night that changed everything. A robbery, a gun, a dead clerk. Marcus wasn't the shooter, but when the trial came, everyone pointed at him. The verdict was quick. 15 years, armed robbery, second-degree murder. As the gavel struck, Marcus turned to see his mother weeping. He wanted to scream that it wasn't supposed to be this way, but the words died in his throat. Prison was hell in a concrete box. Marcus learned fast. Trust no one. Keep your head down. Never look weak. But one night in the prison library, he stumbled across a dusty old book. From Chains to Change. Black entrepreneurs who built empires. Inside were stories of men who had been born into slavery, chained, beaten, forgotten, yet rose to become inventors, bankers, millionaires. Marcus whispered to himself, "If they could build empires from nothing, what's stopping me?" That night, something inside him shifted. For the first time in years, he had a vision. And then he met the man they called Mr. Elijah. Mr. Elijah had been inside for 30 years, yet he carried himself like a king in exile. One day in the yard, he walked up to Marcus. "Son," he said, "you're different." Marcus laughed. "Different? I'm just another number in orange." Elijah shook his head. "Numbers don't dream. But you've got that fire. Don't waste it like I did." From then on, Elijah became his mentor. On scraps of paper, he taught Marcus the basics of business, stocks, real estate, branding, leadership. But his greatest lesson was this: your mind is your real freedom. They can lock your body, but they can't chain your vision unless you let them. Every night, Marcus devoured books, finance, marketing, self-improvement. While other inmates played cards, he wrote business plans on napkins. After 12 years, Marcus finally walked out, free. But freedom wasn't what he expected. The world had changed. Smartphones, electric cars, the internet turning kids into millionaires. But to society, Marcus was still an ex-con. He had $50, a trash bag of clothes, and a dream too big for his reality. Rejection followed him everywhere. Job interviews ended the moment they saw his record. Nights were spent in shelters, sometimes on park benches. One night, hungry and broken, Marcus stood outside a luxury car dealership. Behind the glass were shining vehicles worth more than he'd ever seen. He pressed his hand against the cold glass and whispered, "One day, I'll buy the building." Not the car, the building. Elijah's words echoed in his mind. Start where you are, with what you have. So Marcus borrowed $20 and started washing cars in a grocery store parking lot. People laughed, but Marcus smiled. He made every car shine like new. He saved every dollar, bought better supplies, printed flyers. Soon he wasn't just washing cars, he was detailing them. He made an Instagram page, posting before and after shots. The page blew up. Within 2 years he had a shop, then two, then an auto customization business. His hustle had become a brand. One day a famous rapper brought his car in, loved the work, posted about it. Overnight, Marcus's shop went viral. Orders poured in, investors called. But Marcus wasn't done. He launched a clothing line, then an app. He hired former inmates, men who, like him, had been locked out of opportunity. And then came the full circle moment. The prison where Marcus had served 12 years was shutting down. Marcus bought it, every brick, every cell, and he transformed it into something new, a business hub for black entrepreneurs. At the grand opening, Marcus stood where his old cell once was. Now, it was a glass-walled office. Reporters asked how he did it. He smiled and said, "They locked my body, but they never locked my mind. Today, I build doors where there were walls." And then he revealed something no one knew. Mr. Elijah had died in prison 2 years before Marcus got out. He never saw Marcus succeed. Marcus paused, holding back tears. "This building isn't mine," he said. "It belongs to every kid who was told he'd never make it. To every man who thought prison was the end. It's not the end. It's the start. From chains to change. From prisoner to pioneer." Marcus proved one thing. Your past does not define you. Your choices do. Even in a cage, you can dream. And if you dream hard enough, you can build an empire. And just like Marcus broke his chains and built an empire, you too can rise above every wall life builds around you. If this story inspired you, don't just walk away. Take action. Hit that like button if you believe in second chances. And subscribe right now to join a community where every story fuels your fire to never give up.